I built this cinematic website entirely with Fable 5. And you can see here the background is one continuous film. It reacts to the scrolling, so we can scroll down, and when I scroll back up, it's going in reverse. And there's smooth transitions between each section, so there's no jumping. It's not a video, it's actually a 36-second film. And you can go preview this template at this link right here. In this video, I'm going to show you the technique so you can achieve the same result. Let's get right into it. So let's have a look at the template here. It's Wallow. So this is a bath and body brand. So when I scroll this, you see the animations and all of this, and also all the transitions between the sections. So all of this. So all of this behind is a one continuous 36 seconds film um, in the background, but it's not a video. I can scroll through it, go backwards like this, and it's going to play in reverse. And this is tied to my scrolling here. So you can see that it interacts with the scrolling. And all of this was created in a way that it's seamless in terms of transition. So we're going to learn about that today, and also the full workflow on how you can use this to create your own website, your own template, and customize it and bring it to your own project. And also the way we are going to kind of think and direct our website, our experience. So you see that at the end here, we have this big, blast of colors, and we have the CTA button here about in the middle. So this is, something that you can think of when creating all these films and all the elements of your website, so that they are going to work together and create a great experience for your users. So everything here fits in 3 layers. So let's have a look. The first one is obviously the film. So these are the 6 videos that are 6 seconds long for a total of 36 seconds. So these are the videos that we need to create first. And then we go into the engine here, which takes the actual videos and extract the frames from them. And then we draw it on the canvas, which will be driven by our scroll animation. So then we have our, the web elements, the components, all the sections, the UI pattern, anything you want here. For example, the text, the marquee, some effects, animations, and some here, the sticky animations if you want. So by combining both the background video with the actual web element, then you can create a really amazing experience. So all of this together will create your wow factor. So if we look at the website here, you can see that this subject is on the right. We have the title on top, and then the text on the left. And when we scroll down a bit, then the next part here, we have the text on the right and the subject on the other side. So, these little effects or, attention to the details makes all the difference. And as well as what I mentioned before, coming back down to the CTA section, we have the button here that is in the middle, and our background is centered in the middle as well. So it creates this effect that everything is in sync and creates a really great experience for the user. So you really have to think about your background, your images, your videos, and then your elements as a whole and not separate. And that depends on the kind of result that you want. So for example, you want this, and this template, we have a background that is spanning throughout all the website. Maybe, but sometimes in your product, you maybe you don't want that to be the case. You don't want the background to be in every section. So then you can work it section by section. But here, since we have it all throughout the whole landing page, then we work the film and the web element as one, and we plan it together. So this was made with Fable 5, right? And now it's back, but it was pulled back by the government before because of the security and and because of the security, let's say the cyber security and the bio. But now it's back, and it's absolutely stunning. So For the pricing, we have to be careful though because it's really expensive. It's it's 2 time the usage of Opus, for example, and we have Sonnet 5 that just came out as well. It is way less expensive, so I would say use this carefully. Use it, for example, if we go into building something, we can use this for as a planner. So we have before we used to use the plan mode and acting mode in for building. Now less and less, but before we used to do that. So we can think of Fable 5 if you want to do it in an optimal way. Then you can use it to plan, to think, research, and plan everything out. So then you can hand it over to Sonnet or Opus because they are still really good models. And Opus is actually really great because if you happens to trigger one of their classifiers, then it's going to downgrade to Opus 4.8 automatically anyway. So by having Fable 5 plan out everything, then it's just a matter of implementing, and Opus is really great at that. So it's important to know that the technique that we are going to learn today is not bound to a certain model version. So it's not bound to only Fable 5. You can use any one that you want, and it's going to work very well. But have it been planned before with Fable 5 makes it so much easier. So in terms of planning, you could use Fable 5. If you know the techniques already, then you can obviously use Opus throughout the whole process because you will know what the actual outcome you want. So any cinematic page will start the same way, and it's not about the code. So we are starting with a script. So we're going to ask it to kind of act like a advertisement agency. So we are trying to build an experience here. We are going to think about all the interactions that we have before even building the HTML. So you can think of it as like a director that is going to write a script. So we're going to do it like a storyboard, for an ad, for example. They're not going to create the assets right away. So they're going to draw the storyboard, write the script, think about the transition. And that's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to think about the experience first. And then once we have polished everything and have everything ready, then we're going to transition into building. So here we have like the first one here. So the color for this one, we choose one color per section. So we have the orange in the first one, and then this color, kind of the pink and the lime. So if we look at the website, we have this orange in the first place, and then again here, this kind of pink and the lime, which is here. So then we have this purple and so on. So we look at here, we have the purple. And the last one is the CTA, which has all the colors. And this is where it's going to like kind of, blend everything together. Everything comes together. So we're going to come here, and this is the result that the script, the director like script gave us. So that's where we are going to kind of like plan, the planning phase for our website, because it's important. When working with video generation, it is very expensive. So here I'm using Google Flow. So this is the project here. And if you look at the VO here, okay, so let's look at the one first that I use. When you create a video, so for one video, a 6-second video is going to cost 10 credit. And if you choose to do, 2 iterations at every step, then it's going to be double that, so 20 credits. Now, this is the Omni Flash, the Omni, the cheapest version. They have the best one here, which is the quality, and this is going to be drastically more pricier. So here for 2, we have 200 credits going to cost you, and for 1, 100. So if you use this, you better be like preparing everything, because it's cheaper to write text, the script, prompting AI then to come here and test. And with anything, related to AI, it's not going to be perfect. So you get the result. Sometimes it's good, sometimes not. Most of the time it's not. So you have to test, multiple shots. But let's have a look at how much it costs actually for this. So if we're looking at here, I'm in Canada, and for the plans, the AI Google plans, then here for the Pro, you have 1,000 credits. So that's 10 videos per month on the best model that they have. And for the cheapest one here, it's 200. So it's only 2 video per month. And if you want to get more credits, more usage out of your plan, then you will need to use a Google AI Ultra plan. So the first one is 10,000 a month. This is the cheapest one at 140 Canadian. And there is another one that is more expensive. It's 200 something. And I believe it's 20,000 monthly credit. So if you come here, this is just a promotional pricing for 3 months. The real price is 27 Canadian, which I believe is $20 US. So you know that when you're going to start this, like for example, here the website that I created, we ended up using 6 videos. So imagine, so that's already 600, and if they are all good, right, which will not be the case when you are working with AI. So it's going to be more expensive, and you have to factor that in every time you create an image or a video. Then you have to know that it's not going to be good at sometimes it's good the first shot, sometimes not, sometimes it's going to take more iteration. But what's good about Flow is that they are counting this, but when you use for videos, right? But if you use images, then you use the best model is the Pro. And if you generate any image, it's not going to cost you anything. It's 0 credit. I think you have like up to a certain amount of images per month, but you rarely hit that. So this is really great, and that's the reason that I'm using this one. You can obviously use other image and video generation. For example, you can use images with ChatGPT, or you can use images, or you can use images and videos with Midjourney. So those are Midjourney is really great. They have really great images, but this is just overall for creating templates for testing, and especially if you use the cheaper model here, which is the Omni Flash, then it's really it's good for iterating and testing, because that's what you want. And we also have Grok that creates images and video if you guys want to test that as well. But pick your image and video platform, and it's a good thing to subscribe to one of their plans, because in terms of video, you are going to be testing and actually generating a lot. So be mindful of that. And for this one, we are using Google Flow. To get the result that we want, we actually need to prompt, right? So this one is the actual prompt for our scripting website, for the website script, the experience script. So we're going to ask it to act as an ad director. So before you write any HTML, you ask it to write a director script. So this is very important, because we don't want the AI to generate any code, no code, until it is approved. So you are going to read the output and approve, and tweak the script, the experience, the way you want. So we also want to have real product and real details, real copy, not just placeholders. So this makes it so that it, as a preview, so that we make sure that from the script, once we are going to create it, we have some kind of a visual reference instead of just placeholders, right? So the template, the website feels more real, more production ready. And this is like the base for the prompt. the core. So the rest is all about how you want the rest, the experience to feel. So for example, here we have the to give it, like, for every section we give it uh, a row name, 5 things. So we have the colors. We give one color per section, one job, the film and camera angle, the camera behind it, and the real final on-screen copy, and one layer effect. So the background combined with your HTML is going to create that um, unique experience. So the other important thing is that we need to have consistency. So for example, we have one product, which is the bath bomb, but we need it to be consistent. It cannot change or shift into something different in any of the video because that would be really weird. And uh, as a real product, you would have your product, right? So here, the web page here, we have this product, which is the bath bomb, and we want the same product with the same logo, with the same feature in every videos. So we cannot have it like different from one video to another, one image to another. So the way to do this is to create, first of all, the image, and then use it as a reference for the next video, or use it as a reference for the next image. So your product or your brand, your logo has to be in, the generator's context, to be sure that it has um, everything to create everything consistently. So if you have this, for example, then you can give it and ask it to create more images, like from different angles, so that we have references once we are at the video creation part, which is really important. And all of this is to create a script, right? Is to have a feeling of the website, to create, have a unique experience for the user. Because the better the experience that the user is going to have when visiting your website, then the more they're going to remember, which in turn is going to convert more. So the experience is really important. And that's why in an ad, it's always impactful. It's always about emotions and rhythm and stuff like that. So, and that's what you want to do on your website as well. So this is the part where it's only scripting. So this is where you will want to iterate the most. This is where you want to take it to where you feel like it's going to fit perfectly with your product, with your work, with a project. So this is the planning phase. So make sure to get it right, because once we get to the video creation, then it's going to get really expensive real quick. So all the prompts needed for this demonstration are going to be available in the description, so you can follow along and also easily copy it. Now we are using Google Flow for this template demonstration. But if you want to use it for production, then you would need the Google AI Ultra plan, because this gives you the possibility to have up to 4K resolution, and as well as removing watermarks from your videos. So this is very important. So now we're going to see it live in action, how to build this. So obviously it's AI, so we are not going to get the same result, but the steps are the same. So the first thing we make is a still image. And there's a good reason we start with an image instead of a video. So in Flow, images are completely free and videos cost credits. So before paying for any video, we make a free picture first. Then you can judge it and only turn it into a video once you're happy with how it looks. So to set that up, I click the small settings button on the prompt box and the panel opens. So you choose the image as a type with the Nano Banana Pro as the model. So widescreen, 16:9, and one image per generation. And if you look at the bottom of the panel, there's literally a text saying that the generation will use 0 credits, so it's free. So now we need to prompt it. So I paste the exact same prompt that made the real film. It describes an underwater shot of a white bath sphere releasing an orange cloud of dye. And they ask for 2 very specific things. So plenty of space around the sphere and a completely calm left side with no dye. I'll show you why those two things matters in a second. So now we just send it and it's going to start to generate. So the image is done now. So before we use it, we have to check if it passed the two checks that we asked. So this is for an example. So this is like an iteration process example. So if you don't like the first image, then you can always reprompt it. So you can look here for this image. We can look at all the margins, so all around the image. And the reason is that Flow stamps a small watermark near the corner of every video that it makes. And, and to deal with this, our plan is to crop the edges off later to remove it. So, if anything touches the edge of the frame, anything that you want in the video to be visible, then we're going to ask, then we're going to make sure that it's not going to be cropped out. So depending on your project, then you have to have that in mind. And we also check for the left, third of the image. It has to stay clean and calm because that's where the brand name will sit when this becomes a website. So all our left hero elements. So if you're not happy with this, then it's very easy. You just have to reprompt it because it's not going to cost you anything. So you paste the same prompt and you just run it again. So now that you have the image that you like, the one that you approve, then we need to turn it into a video. So I click the same settings button on the prompt box. This time we choose video. So inside the video, there's two ways of working, and I picked the one called frames. So frame is the mode where you can hand flow a starting image, and optionally you can add an ending image, but we don't need it in this example. And it animates from your first frame. So that's the mode that this whole method is built on. For the model, we choose Omni Flash. It's the cheapest video model in Flow. And for this technique, it's all we need. So for this one, I chose 6 seconds long, widescreen, and only one video output. So again, if we look at the price line, we can see how many credits it's going to charge because the video are not free. So make sure that you check that before you send, because sometimes you might have clicked or it was on a previous setting that like you might have the 2 videos or 3, 4 videos for each prompt. So that's where you can verify instead of wasting all your credits. So verify that the credit makes sense. And again, we're just going to send it. So next we need the starting image. You just have to click the slot that's labeled start, and then you have a picker open with the project's images. So our approved one, or the one that you like, is right at the top because it's the newest in the project. So we choose that one, and then we need to add the prompt. So now the video knows exactly what its first frame has to look like. Now for the prompt, it's going to be like a motion prompt. It only tells Flow what should happen inside the scene we already approve. Here it's the die keeps blooming, the sphere stays small and high, the left side stays calm, a gentle opening shot. So we just sent this, and those are the 10 credits that we are going to spend for this generation. So the video is going to take a couple of minutes to render, so we're going to skip the wait. So now here it is, the generated die blooming video. To get the file, open the clip and click the download icon at the top right. It's going to save it to your computer, and it goes into our working folder as clip 1. So now comes the most important move in this whole method, making clip 2 continue perfectly from clip 1 with no visible jump at the cut. So that's the problem we're solving. An AI video never ends exactly where you expect it to. What we are going to do is to extract the last frame from the first clip and use it as the starting frame for the second clip or the next clip if you have multiple. So to grab it, uh, I switch to the terminal where I have Claude Code session open in the same folder as the clip. And my request is one simple sentence. Take the exact final frame of clip 1 and give it to me as an image so I can upload it as the start pin of clip 2 in Flow. So now you can watch it, Claude Code working, and it finds the clip, pulls out the true final frame, and even double checks that it's literally frame 144 out of the 144, the actual last frame. So it's not like somewhere at the end, it's actually the last frame of it. You can also do this by hand by using ffmpeg command. You just need to jump to the 10th of a second before the end of the video and save one frame. That's it. But here we're using AI, so you don't need to do anything manually. Now back in Flow, that landed frame is uploaded and it shows up at the top of the image picker as the newest file. I open the start slot again and pin it. And this is the entire trick of the method. So as I said, clip 1 ends on this exact frame and clip 2 now starts on this exact frame. The cut between them lands on two identical images, so there's nothing that's going to jump. Then the prompt for clip 2, it says the orange dye slowly clears and drifts away. The sphere sinks gently towards the lower left, and a new pink magenta cloud starts blooming up. So this clip is the handoff from the orange scene into the pink scene. And now we're going to send it. So we're going to use another 10 credits again. So now we're going to prove that the transition is real instead of just claiming it. So back in a terminal, one more request. Take the very first frame of clip 2 and put it side by side with clip 1's last frame in a single image. So what it's going to do, it's going to grab frame 1 of clip 2, then stack the two pictures next to each other. So this is going to give you the option to preview both of the images. So the last frame of clip 1 and then the first frame of the next clip. In this case, it's the second clip. So those two should be exactly the same. And there it is. We have on the left the frame clip 1 where it ended, and on the right the frame clip 2 where it starts. Those two are identical. So now the cut will never jump, so it's going to be seamless. So that's everything like for this method to kind of stitch all the 6 movies together. And you can use this method to combine as many videos as you want, whatever is needed for your project. So we have 2 clips joined together with a cut you can't see. Now we need to turn that into the scrolling, so the thing that people actually scroll through. And we don't ship that as a video file. So this technique makes it so that it looks like the Apple style scroll. So for the first step, I asked Claude to join the 2 clips into one continuous film in order with no fade or blend between them. I can ask it for that simply because of what we already did. The end of the first clip and the start of the second are the exact same picture. So there's nothing to smooth over, and a fade would only make it look worse. In the same request, I tell it to make the film bigger and a little sharper, so it feels a 1600 by 900 frame. The clips that comes out of the cheap video model at 720p, which is fairly low resolution, and Flow has no button to enlarge them, unless you are on a ultra plan, which has a better quality. So Claude does it right here in one command, and you can see the exact words I typed on the screen. So this next step is what makes the scroll feel so good. The scroll engine is not going to take any video at all. As I said, it only need numbered still pictures, like just like a flip book, you know. So we cut the films into separate frames. Again, we use Claude, and the way I ask it is to avoid like errors. So the tool that does this is called the ffmpeg, which is a free program for working with video. If you ask for the frames in the obvious way, it does the wrong thing. It hands you one big file instead of hundreds of separate pictures, and the scroll engine can't use that. So in my request, I spell it out. I tell it to write separate numbered pictures, one per file, not a single combined file. That one instruction is the whole fix. And there are frame 1, frame 2, all the way up, one picture per file. On the real template, these are saved as WebP, which is just a lighter kind of image file. Here they're plain numbered pictures. It's the same idea either way. So the reason we are doing this instead of just taking a normal video and sliding it back and forth is for performance. You know, if you host your website and there's a video, it's really big and it's gonna eat up a lot of your bandwidth, it's gonna cost you, a lot of money. So here, I compared them side by side. On the left, the video moved back and forth by the scroll, and on the right, our picture frames. So the left one gets stuck. It freezes on a single frame and won't move. To jump a video to any moment, the browser has to skip straight to the spot inside the video file, and that only works in the server. You know, if the server it came from is set up to allow those jumps. Off a plain file on your computer or a simple server, it isn't, so the video just locks up. The frames on the right have nothing to jump to and nothing to unpack. So every picture is already loaded, so it moves smoothly. It also works with no internet. It works on phones, and the moment you stop scrolling, it stops doing any work at all. So a playing video can't do that. The engine itself is only about 30 lines, and you don't have to write them by hand either. You describe it to Claude, and it's going to build it for you. So let me show you what it does. It loads all the frames up front. Then as you scroll, it works out how far down the page you are. So from 0 at the top to 1 at the bottom. And it draws the matching frame onto the canvas. So the canvas is just a blank drawing surface stretched across the background on the page. So there's two things that would make it feel, more premium, if you will. So first, it's the eases. Instead of jumping straight to the exact frame, it drifts towards it. So the film feels smooth and a little weighted as you scroll. Second, it saves work. So the moment you stop scrolling, it settles on a frame and stops drawing. The page goes completely quiet and it's only ever like redraws when the frame actually changes. So it feels smooth when you move and it does nothing when you don't. So now once the background animation is done, we come to this like kind of the components, the elements. So that will combine with the background to make like this wow effect. And it follows one rule: only ever move two things where something sits and how see-through it is. So never anything that forces the browser to work out the whole page layout again, because that's what makes a page like laggy. So you ask for these the same way you ask it in Claude, just in plain words. So let me show you the ones worth the most here on the finished page. First, the headline that appears one letter at a time. So each word is a little box that hides anything poking outside of it, and each letter sits inside that box. As the section scrolls into view, the letter slides up from below the edge, one just after another. So the line gets dealt out like cards instead of appearing all at once. You'll see it 3 times as we go: on the big wallow, on go loud, and on the closing run a brighter bath. Next, behind the product range, 2 rows of giant words slides across in opposite directions. So one row is filled in solid and the other one just an outline. And they move at slightly different speeds, so they never quite line up, which keep them feeling more alive, and they fit out shortly at the edges. Now on the product cards, as I move the cursor over one, it leans towards me and a soft band of light slides across it. It's just a small tilt that follows the pointer. It never touches the page layout, but it makes the card feel like a real object you could pick up. So those are all, and animation effects and all the structure, the layout that you can always customize for your website. Just have in mind that if you synchronize it with your background, it's going to feel more premium. It's going to feel more expensive. So you can play with all kinds of different layouts and elements and components and all the effects and animations. Mix and match and test different ones so that it feels really unique. So now for the last thing, optionally, you can run a check. So the check is a small program that opens your finished page in a browser with no window, an invisible browser that has script controls instead of a person. It loads the page exactly like a real visitor's browser would, then tests it. So the free tool it uses, it's something that is called Puppeteer, but you don't have to touch it directly. You describe the check you want and you make sure that Claude writes the script that's going to run it for you. Or you can just ask Claude directly to verify all the features, all or the descriptions that you want to be checked. So here it tests 8 things in the order that you see them here. So nothing on the page crashed. There's no error message in its log. Everything the page needed actually loaded. The moving background is really drawing, not frozen. The page isn't blank, and it proves that by taking a picture of the page and making sure the picture isn't just one flat color. It stays smooth while scrolling, which it measures the number of times the page redrawn each second, and that has to stay above 30. It still works shrunk down to a phone screen, and the conversion of a page, the one that people who turn their animations off, doesn't break. So you make your own, you make sure that you put every kind of a feature or steps or verification that you want. Make sure to tell Claude and it's going to run it and verify that your page is actually okay and all passing your internal test. So you can see that here it passes all 8 of 8. So everything is good. It's holding around 34 frames a second. So that's the whole build from start to finish. So if you found anything useful in this video, then make sure to hit the like button and subscribe so that you don't miss the next one. And I will see you in the next video.